So hello and welcome to Sacrea Cooking, where you learn to cook with creativity and confidence. So today we will talk about beans, or all legumes. And I will show you how to cook them properly to take care of your gut. So why do you have to take care of your gut? All legumes have anti-nutrients. And those anti-nutrients can be really harsh on your gut. It can create gas, it can create indigestion, it can create inflammation, which is one of the leading causes for a lot of illnesses. So it's really good to reduce these anti-nutrients as much as possible when you cook legumes. And why are they there? So each nut, each seed, each legume, so everything that can basically be put in soil or water and will start to grow, will start to form a plant, a new life, has a lot of anti-nutrients in it. And we cannot very easily digest it. For some things like green peas, for example, it's very little, so we can eat them raw, so that's okay. But then you have like something like kidney beans, they will give you a stomach ache if you try to eat them raw. It's really, really bad. And then also most lentils, they have not as much anti-nutrients as beans do usually, but still they have them and we need to cook them properly. And why do plants have those anti-nutrients? So everything that I said, like the seed, the bean, the nut, they are all there to create a new plant, to create new life. And the plants want to multiply themselves. And they pack those seeds, those legumes, those nuts full of nutrients so that new life can be formed. But if like animals or humans would just easily eat them, the new life cannot be formed in most cases. And therefore the plant adds those bitter ingredients, those anti-nutrients to make the digestion either impossible or you have really bad stomach aches. Sometimes if you look at flax seeds, they basically get in the same way they come out again, so they're not even digested at all really. And therefore we need to prepare certain seeds and also most legumes in a way that we can digest the proteins, all the good ingredients they have, and to not upset our stomach and our gut at the same time. So, and how do you do that? First of all, you soak your legumes 24 hours. It really makes a difference to just overnight, 8 to 12 hours. No, 24 hours really makes a difference in reducing the anti-nutrients. And then you discard the water, you don't use it for aquafaba purposes such as mousse au chocolat. It can be nice, but it's not really good for your gut. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but if you really want to take care of your gut, don't. And then you rinse them properly and then you cook them properly through, all the way through so they're soft, not like half soft or anything. Some beans take up to 1.5 hours, but that's just the way it is. And then what you add right at the beginning of the cooking process, you add salt and baking soda. And both of them will make the cooking process quicker and they will also reduce gas. So that's a really good trick to reduce the time. That's the way to cook your beans, lentils, peas properly and to help your gut. And now I have 2 recipes to show you, and also you can reproduce those recipes in different ways, the way you want to. In one way I took black beans and I soaked them, and then I'm cooking them and I will turn them into hummus. It's a black bean hummus, which in my opinion is much creamier than hummus with chickpeas, so I prefer it. And then for the split peas that I soaked, I'm cooking them in an Indian inspired way, so with Indian spices and with some onion, garlic, chili, and it's gonna be very nice. So, and now I will show you the 2 recipes for today. I finished soaking the black beans and I took the water out, rinsed them, and now they go into the pan. And then I'm gonna add some water. This looks good. And then I will turn on the pan. I will add my baking soda so they can get softer quicker and more easily digestible. I will add the salt as well. And now this can start cooking. And then on to the next recipe. That one is a little bit inspired by Indian style lentils. I also soaked these and rinsed them for a bit more than 24 hours. Those are in fact not lentils, those are split peas. So they cook a little bit differently, but the texture in the end is almost the same. Here I take olive oil, but you can also take coconut oil and warm it up. And I'm warming up my spices in that oil. A little bit of coriander seeds. I like to add a little bit more of these because they're very nice. And then I will add like maybe 2 bay leaves. And then I take the cardamom. I squash it down a bit so it is a little bit open. And then I add some fenugreek seeds. All of those spices are also very good for digestion. And a little bit of this one, which is, as far as I know, resin from a gum tree. It's Asafoetida hung yellow powder. And then I let the spices warm a little bit. And now after 2-3 minutes or so, the spices are warm enough. And then I will add a little bit of chili paste. This is fermented chili paste, it's homemade. But you can add curry paste as well. And then I let that cook a little bit and let it caramelize. So now it's nicely caramelizing. And I will add my garlic, onion and ginger. You can also add chili at this point, but I already added chili paste. So I will not add chili again. Then I will let those fry off until they get glassy and caramelize a little bit. So now it's starting to look nice. I added a bit more oil because mine was a little dry. And now it's time to add the peas. And some water. At this point I also want to add some fenugreek leaves. Now this can cook for maybe 1 to 1.5 hours. And if we have a look at this one, it looks nice too. They're boiling just normally. And they take maybe around, possibly the same 1 to 1.5 hours. And I almost forgot the most important, to add a little bit of baking soda to aid the softness and the digestion. And salt. Okay. Now it can cook. So as you can see, it's already very soft. This one almost turned into a soup. It ended up going much quicker than I did. It was maybe half an hour, 40 minutes instead of 1.5, what I expected. And then here, oh, you can't really see anything. But those beans are also very soft. You can always check it on the side when you press. So now the beans are done and you can see they're very, very soft. And I rinsed them. And now I'm gonna add lemon, salt, cumin, maybe a bit of olive oil and tahini. Okay, so I will take the lemon, I will squeeze it a bit, and then I will add maybe not even fully half because this is not so much. Maybe this much. And then I add the salt. And cumin, I do everything by feeling, but I've done it many times. You can always taste test in between. And I like to add a lot of tahini in my hummus. More than olive oil. Originally you're not supposed to add any olive oil, but I still do it sometimes. And I mix with my blender. What I forgot to say, it's good to let the beans cool down a little bit before you do that. And now it's very, very thick, so I will add a bit of olive oil. And also a bit of very cold water. Just go bit by bit and then check the consistency, and in the end you will arrive at a point where you like it. I like it when it's quite thick but not maybe super thick, I don't know what to say. Now I'll test the flavor. The texture is already really nice. I will add more lemon and probably some more salt. At this point you can also add like chili or sun-dried tomato or whatever you like. Okay, so now it is finished. We have a nice lentil turned more into a soup. It's the split peas, in fact, that are really nice and delicious and flavorful. And then we have the a bit more simple black bean hummus. It turns like more of a beige brown color, but it's very creamy and very nice. Okay, so that was the recipes and the process and how to cook beans and lentils well for your gut and for your gut health. And I hope you liked it, and I hope you will try out the process and maybe some of the recipes, and see you next time. Bye bye!